The battle between Priti Patel and the establishment continues on the issue of reforming the asylum system. As you know, on this channel, I've been reporting for the past few months the illegal migrant boats coming into the UK, especially from France, and how Priti Patel has been making speeches and statements talking about how she wants to actually change the whole arrangement. A lot of people, including myself, have become quite impatient. Sometimes we actually thought that she doesn't really care, she's been complacent, but recently we've been discovering the obstacles, whether it's the top civil servants in the Home Office, whether it's the lefty lawyers or activist lawyers, and obviously there's a lot of problems happening with the smugglers themselves. So the latest that we have is that the same the lefty lawyers who have been criticised by Priti Patel have come out. They've gone together, written a letter to demand an apology from the Home Secretary and the Prime Minister, apparently, because words hurt. And so the issue is that also you guys have heard what happened yesterday with the tanker that got hijacked near the Isle of Wight. I'm going to also talk about that as well in this video, and the latest update on the UK waters and fisheries as well, because it's all interconnected. The issue is that obviously we have this letter. Barristers, solicitors, legal academics, and retired judges have written this together to say that these words are bad and they have to apologize. They haven't said anything about the fact that these are the same people who have been causing trouble, who are using or taking advantage of certain aspects of the human rights laws to stop the deportations of illegal migrants and obviously foreign criminals in general. And this comes after Priti Patel's recent comments about the lefty lawyers. In case you haven't heard, let's go to the clip where she talked about these lefty lawyers.
And for those defending the broken system, the traffickers, the do-gooders, the lefty lawyers, the Labour Party, they are defending the indefensible. And that is something I will never do. If at times that means being unpopular on Twitter, I will bear it.
Yes, so this is what she's actually dealing with, and because of these words, these guys have decided to write this letter. The Law Society and everybody else, they've said that we are all deeply concerned at the recent attacks made by the Home Secretary and echoed by the Prime Minister on lawyers seeking to hold the government to the law. Sure, or maybe you could just say that you've been taking advantage of the human rights laws. So we have a big list of obviously lawyers, and again a lot of retired ones as well, obviously from Lawrence Collins, John Dyson, and a number of others as well. But don't forget, this is also only a small chunk of legal professionals in this country. A lot of them, as I said, are retired anyway. This is not necessarily the mood from the silent majority, let's just say, in the country. Now, the biggest issue that we have is that they're doing their job. That's what they think. They're standing up against Priti Patel's campaign to reform the asylum system. But they're fine because they have David Lammy backing them, the Labour MP, who's now come out on Twitter saying that words have consequences. It's despicable that Priti Patel and Boris Johnson have decided that lawyers are the bad guys. Yes, it's interesting coming from David Lammy himself that words have consequences. The same guy who only a couple of years ago, during one of the anti-Brexit rallies outside Parliament, branded Brexiteers as certain things that we can't actually say on this channel. So if words have consequences, then yes, David Lammy must also pay attention to that. Although he's also said that will the Lord Chancellor, Robert Buckland, finally come out from under the bed covers and publicly condemn them? Why would he? Considering he's part of the same government and he agrees with the proposed reforms that the Home Secretary is actually about to be doing. I'm not really sure what the point of that part of the tweet is, but it's interesting. For those of you who actually don't know what Priti Patel has said on the issue of reforming the whole system, let's go to the clip from her recent speech.
I will take every necessary step to fix this broken system, amounting to the biggest overhaul of our asylum system in decades. But I'll be honest with you, this will take time. So as we overhaul the system, I will accelerate our operational response to illegal migration. We will continue to hunt down the criminal gangs who traffic people into our country. I will continue to use the full force of our National Crime Agency and intelligence agencies to go after them. We will make more immediate returns of those who come here illegally and break our rules every single week. And we will continue to examine all practical measures to effectively deter illegal migration.
So, again, these are the words that a lot of you have been hearing and watching from her, and some of you have said that, yes, the rhetoric is fine, but we need action. As I said earlier, I've been quite impatient as well until discovering recently about all the obstacles from the top civil servants to the lefty lawyers and everybody else, including the mainstream media, obviously. But the key point from that speech was when she mentioned that, I have to be honest, these reforms will take some time. And this was the first time she was actually quite direct and straightforward about her plans rather than just giving empty promises. So that's fine. And especially this is coming at a time when yesterday we were dealing with some troubles near the Isle of Wight when a tanker was actually hijacked by a group of people. And at the time, no one knew who was behind it. We have obviously now discovered the whole situation, and basically the media have now confirmed that they believe that these people were believed to be Nigerian, obviously asylum seekers. But this is according to the BBC. They call them asylum seekers, but in reality, especially with what they did, they were illegal migrants. They were trying to enter the country illegally, and this is not the whole situation. And the fact that the mainstream media keep referring to them to either asylum seekers or refugees, this is the whole problem. The media are there to scrutinize the government and the people in the position of power. Firstly, you don't really see or hear many stories, on the BBC or Sky News or any other, or the Guardian, about the smugglers. You don't hear much about the activist lawyers, the lefty lawyers, doing all the things that they've been doing for the past few years. It's primarily about the fact that they keep using these people as targets and say that these are just refugees. And they definitely didn't do anything wrong yesterday, clearly, by hijacking a boat. And luckily, thanks to the Royal Navy, they had a very, very good and effective operation, and they sorted out the whole case quite early on, which was fine. But what we expect from the border force is to do the same thing, to be as robust when it comes to the English Channel on a daily basis as well. So that's the latest update from what happened yesterday. But speaking of the English Channel, we do have the latest from Emmanuel Macron and the French fishermen when it comes to the Brexit negotiations and the trade talks. Apparently, they are now threatening the UK, obviously, exporters. They are saying that they're going to block their access to EU waters because this is obviously a red line for the French government, and the French fishermen think that they're losing their right, their territory, even though it's clearly UK waters. The weird thing is, when you have the French fishermen also saying that they're going to block lorries carrying Britain's catch, all the fish, then you don't really see much from the French government condemning them. They're not doing that because Macron actually needs their vote when it comes to the next election. But you do have Germany and Angela Merkel, who doesn't really care much about the fisheries and UK waters, but she does care about other issues, state aid rules and a level playing field. We now hear the latest from the European Union that she's been urged to step in because Emmanuel Macron is stubborn, and he's currently the biggest obstacle when it comes to achieving a potential trade deal with the UK. And so in the next few weeks, considering the trade talks are now being resumed again, you're going to have a situation where probably Angela Merkel is going to be seen in London more, as well as Michel Barnier. But I don't think they could completely get rid of Emmanuel Macron's demands, because the whole game has been played on this fisheries debate. But obviously Angela Merkel's demands are also as bad. Again, as I said, level playing field and making sure everything is harmonized between the UK and the European Union. What's the point of Brexit if we're still going to be tied to the ECJ and the customs arrangements that the European Union have? But obviously, as usual, I'll keep you guys posted on this channel with the Brexit updates, with obviously what's happening with our borders, Priti Patel's campaign to reform the asylum seekers. I'm going to try, as usual, to be objective. When she does something well, I will praise. When nothing's been done, we will criticize. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I did hear the last couple of days, a lot of you have said that the videos that I upload haven't been sent to you guys by YouTube. Make sure that you check that you're still subscribed. Some people are getting unsubscribed for some reason, and click on a bell next to the actual subscribe button. And don't forget to become a member and support the channel by going on youtube.com/marriedtousi/join. The link is in the description. You get a lot of perks and benefits, including the weekly video podcasts and daily vlogs and everything else. I'm Married Tousi, and I'll see you guys in the next video.